Hey guys, Igor here, and in today's video we got a fun little art challenge for you. It's called the Artception challenge, and the idea behind it is painting over a photo to make something seem like it's there in real life, but with a twist. So let's get right into it, and I'm going to show you how the challenge setup works, and then you're going to see me go through it. Okay, so here are the things that we're going to need for our challenge. We're going to want a sketchbook, a pen, pencil, or marker, something to actually draw in our sketchbook with, and lastly a smartphone. I'm using a smartphone for two of the final steps. One is to take a picture, and the last step is to actually draw and color the image that we're going to be creating. You can obviously use your iPad with Procreate, or even a computer with something like Photoshop, but in this case we're just going to be using our smartphone. Moving on to the challenge itself, we're going to want to find an object to draw, sit down, and draw it into our sketchbook. Once your sketch is complete, keep in mind the sketch can be as rough or as detailed as you'd like it to be, we're going to go ahead and add another element to the sketch, something that isn't actually in front of you. As you can see, I went ahead and drew in a snake, but you can be as creative as you'd like. For the third step, we're going to want to take a picture of both our sketch and the object that our sketch is based on. Now obviously, the sketch is going to have that added element and the object in the background isn't. But that's where the final step comes in. For the fourth and final step, we're going to import this photo that we just took into whatever drawing program we prefer. I'm going to be using Pocket Procreate on my iPhone just because it keeps everything all in one place. Now, after importing this photo, we're going to go ahead and draw that element onto the physical object within the picture. As you can see in the example, I have colored in a green snake around the bottle. And that will complete the Artception challenge. Alright, so let's get on over to my sketch and the drawing that I'm going to be doing, and we're going to follow along and we're going to see how it turns out. Alright, so here we are in Pocket Procreate. Now what I'm going to do, as always, is open up a new canvas, hit the little wrench icon, insert an existing photo, go to my moments, and here we have the sketch that I did. As you can see, I've added this bunny into the scene. It's a bit sloppy, but whatever. Alright, the first thing we're going to want to do is create a new layer. And I think I want to get an outline, a feel for the shape of the bunny so that it's approximately in the same position as I have it in my sketchbook drawing. We're going to try to break it down into shapes. Get the circle part done first. Draw the head in. Let's increase the brush size a bit, just so we are not struggling with very small strokes. Again, just get that fill going. I'm using a pencil type brush, but I find that this bottom left one, it's really good too. It leaves a lot of very smooth lines. As you can see, for filling stuff in, it's a lot faster. To get the shape of the bunny, go in with an eraser and cut out any extras. I think the shape is all right. Now what I'm gonna want to do is get a more orangish color. Let's sketch out where we want the ears to go. I'm keeping the bunny itself simple so that the video isn't too long, and you can go as crazy as you want with this challenge. You can have hundreds of objects within the scene, or you can keep it simple like me. So I'm going to grab this darker color again, and I want to separate out that leg, that front leg. Now, to push the realism of this bunny itself, if you have an animal or something that weighs, a considerable amount, this bunny is sitting on the grass, so any grass strands that are around him we could redraw to be laying down, just to help push that idea of this is a creature that's within the environment. And the cool thing about doing the drawings over the things like the grass is, again, because you are drawing it, it's going to be noticeably not realistic, but that's what kind of makes it a little bit more interesting to look at, in my opinion. So here we can grab a little bit more of the orange and go in along the bottom side, adding some dark spots throughout this grass area, like to help sit our bunny into the scene. Alright, now looking at what we've got so far, the overall shape that I've drawn is a little bit different. I'm missing a little bit of that tail. Again, I'm just going to trim this a lot more down and then add the tail in. Now, I don't think this needs to be perfect, because even having a similar looking object is going to be convincing enough so that, you know, any of the viewers that look at the image, they'll be like, oh, you know, that's pretty neat. For the ears, I'm just going to do a darker red, and you can obviously use as much color in the sketch and in the digital version of your drawing as you'd like. I think color is far more important in the digital version, as that is supposed to be a drawing from life that you're looking at. So I'm grabbing, as you can see, I'm picking up local colors here near the bunny, and I'm just going with the darker areas and darkening them up even more. We have this object resting on top of the grass, and it's applying weight, which causes shadows and the grass itself to start like drooping downwards. So that I want to capture that just a little bit. Now here for the eyes and nose, we can grab a darker color. A little too visible. I don't like that, so I'm going to adjust it. So we'd be looking at the eye from a lot higher up, so we'd actually see even less of it. Probably something more like that. Now we can grab that reddish color. Finally, let's grab some of this off-white and use it to shade various parts of our bunny. We don't want to make it all white. I think that would look too unrealistic. Instead, use the much brighter whites as highlights, and then have that mid-tone be this off-white color. And also, we need a nose. We'll just do a little red dot for the nose with some of the highlight colors above it. I'll grab some of this darker green to really try to plant this thing into the scene. I'm also trying to let the texture of the pencil do some of the work, so I don't have to go in and draw up every little hair. Since this is more of an outdoor scene, I don't think I'm going to worry much about bounce light or reflective light or anything along those lines. We might drop a little bit of highlights. Let's see if we can get a smaller brush stroke. It's not going to be too helpful to be working that zoomed in. These details are going to be quite easily lost. I could also grab another small stroke and do something like the whiskers, just to have something that interacts with the environment a little, goes over the foliage that we've got here. I'm going to grab some of these edges, and I'm going to custom draw in a couple more strokes of this fur over the eyes, just to make the bunny a bit softer looking. I just want to hit these edges that contrast very, very well with each other. The white fur contrasting with the shadows along the foliage. And honestly, I think that's about it. We don't want to overdo it. I think this conveys, you know, what the idea of the challenge was. Here's the look at the final image. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, be sure to leave a like, any comments if you have any questions, and see you in the next one. Stay beautiful.